So you're interested in Jacksonville, Oregon. Well, the first thing you need to know about Jacksonville, Oregon is the history. Why? Because it's important. It's important to understand the history because that has really shaped Jacksonville. Jacksonville was incorporated in 1860. It was an early populated area in Southern Oregon because guess what? Gold. Gold was discovered in the 1850s, brought a lot of people out. There were big gold rush, similar to Northern California. It happened in Jacksonville too. So Jacksonville became a major destination point. In fact, at one point, Jacksonville was the county seat in Jackson County. Makes sense. Jackson County, Jacksonville. Jacksonville was also a finalist when considering the state capital in Oregon at the time, but it lost out because the railroad ended up passing through closer to Medford. So over time, commerce moved towards Medford, and that's why Jacksonville is not the county seat anymore. It's just because of the placement of the railroad, which has actually created quite a unique little town because there's a lot of cultural history in Jacksonville. There's some cool old buildings, but it's a little bit off the beaten path, which makes it pretty hip. The weather in Jacksonville is beautiful. So Jacksonville is located at the base of Miller Mountain, which means that there's not too much snow in the winter. Average is around 8 inches, although in 2021 saw a little bit more than that. And in the summers, it's not too incredibly hot. The average high temperature is 87 degrees. Yes, we've seen temperatures of in excess of 100 anywhere from May through September at times, but the average, believe it or not, in July and August is really only in the upper 80s. So the weather is beautiful in the spring and the fall. So winters are a little cold, summers can get a little hot. The rest of the year, it's just gorgeous in Jacksonville. And that's because of the location. The geography has really made it a unique place. Jacksonville is close to Medford. It's easy access to I-5. The airport is not far down the way. And you can also get really quick, easy access to hospitals or other medical attention as necessary. The population in Jacksonville per the 2010 census is around 2,700 people, and the median age is 54 years old. The schools that serve Jacksonville are minimal. There is one elementary school in Jacksonville. It's a really cool little elementary school with great teachers and a great leadership there. For middle school, students go to McLaughlin Middle School, which is named after the mountain on the other side of the valley. Then in high school, kids go to South Medford High School for people living in Jacksonville. Shout out to Alex Rocher and the other great administrators at South Medford. Some incredible teachers and just wonderful people at South Medford. How are you all doing? So what's really interesting and has made Jacksonville a vital place are the arts and the culture. It's kind of a remnant from that 1850s, 1860s vibe, but it has been enhanced throughout the years as well. The number one reason? Well, the Britt Festival. Named after Peter Britt, an early painter and photographer. In fact, one of the first people to ever photograph Crater Lake. The Britt Festival has become a world-renowned performance venue. It's beautiful. Just up the hill outside of town, there's a beautiful open grounds, and usually in the summertime you can go out and enjoy world-class artists. I've seen Jamie Cullum there, I've seen Wynton Marsalis there, and I love to go and watch the Britt Festival Orchestra with Teddy Abrams. So now in June, they've moved it from August to June, you can go and you can enjoy a beautiful symphony orchestra out under the sky. You can go, you can bring your own alcohol, bring some food, buy some alcohol there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place to hang out. The Brit festivals are incredible. It's worth checking it out. In addition to the festival, because it's so close, there are great restaurants in Jacksonville. You can find phenomenal sushi, or one of my favorites is Bella Union, which is an establishment of itself in Jacksonville. There's also some cool places for nightlife, if that's your thing. There's great coffee in Jacksonville, as well as smaller, more refined restaurants as well. Jacksonville is also host to the Oregon Wine Experience, which is part of the Asante Foundation, and the Oregon Wine Experience, let's hope it gets back in person this year, is a wonderful event that takes place near the old elementary school grounds in Jacksonville. Really worth checking out. In addition to the Brit Festival and the restaurants and the great wineries that are nearby, you're gonna find some really cool historical landmarks. That's because they've preserved many of those early buildings from the 1850s and 1860s. Makes Jacksonville a really cool place to visit, but also just a really cool town to get to know as well. Housing in Jacksonville, Oregon is tight, like it is everywhere. An average 3-bedroom, 2-bath house to rent is well over $2,000 a month now. You'll also find that a 2-bedroom, 1-bath is really close to $2,000 as well, so rent is high. Why? Well, there aren't a lot of homes in Jacksonville. It's a really small kind of populated area. It's densely populated. It's in high demand because it's really cool. And so rent prices are really high. So is the median average price to buy a house. In Jacksonville, the median price is around $600,000. It's gone up 20% in 2021. And that's just due, again, to supply and demand. Low supply, high demand. Why is Jacksonville such a cool place to live? Well, I've got my reasons. The Brit Festival, restaurants, the weather, Applegate Lake and Applegate River are nearby. Just incredible recreation opportunities outdoor as well as it's close to any amenity that you want. Trader Joe's, Costco, the airport. Medford is really close by, and so is I-5, so you can get up and down if you want to go to San Francisco, or maybe you want to go to Portland, or if you have some other cultural events that you're interested in large areas. Jacksonville is really actually quite accessible in that regard. Those are some of my favorite things and my must-knows about Jacksonville, Oregon. But what are some of yours? Hit me up in the comments below. Shoot me a text or an email, and please feel free to subscribe to these videos. I'd love to talk to you. I'm really curious. What do you think about Jacksonville, Oregon?